Dear partners, investors, I greet you all at once and I apologize for the temporary disruptions we are experiencing today. With the camera, I recorded a video review for you, at least 3 times, for 15 to 20 minutes each, and the camera simply kept turning off. The video wasn't saved the first time, then the second time, then we tried to upload the file. It seemed to have saved on some device, and in general, today's review will be partially with video and partially without my video, so I wish you an enjoyable viewing. Well, next time, I think I'll come up with something. I just don't have the energy right now. On the contrary. Dear partners, investors, I am pleased to welcome you to our weekly cryptocurrency market review, especially for you. Today, we will analyze the current market situation, where the market might move in the near future, and how to act in the current situation. When there is chaos, a market crash, and people are divided into several categories, into several types. Some bought Ethereum. For example, at $4,000, and now they are experiencing a loss, of course. Quite a significant one, because Ethereum is $1,578 per unit. They can't find peace and think that it will drop even lower now. So they want to take at least something back to retain a small portion of these funds. But practice shows otherwise. Unfortunately, for some reason, people forget what they remembered in a good emotional state. Because when everything collapses, the balance melts, the emotional state is disrupted and accordingly leads to a large number of mistakes, which generally leads to nothing good. Well, at least in practice, that's exactly the case. And right now, the market is bleeding. Let's analyze whether it has just begun or if it is already ending. So, we have a 3-month time frame on the Filex exchange. Here, we look at Bitcoin briskly. The guy looks like he has shown positive dynamics all this time. He has a good, currently upward trending line. Here it will go full, maximally up, bullish. The scenario is currently with Bitcoin. By all indicators of candlestick analysis and trend lines, we can easily draw a line here, and it will hold. That is, there will be no break there. So, what can we see here? We switch to the monthly time frame and see the following picture. That, right here, the level was quite significant, and the price could not overcome it in any way in 2021. And accordingly, a pullback occurred after that. A long period of time passed, the price decreased and then increased, consolidating above this level with approximately 6 to 7 bars on the monthly time frame. This is a very long period. That is, the asset has indeed consolidated at this mark. Now, what can be expected from this? For Bitcoin, of course, the corrective movement that we have seen, in principle, we warned about it. And now we have a level, approximately from $70,000 down to $60,000. This is exactly the trading corridor, the trading range up to the price where there is a strong established level. And we will be watching if the price consolidates above this level. On the monthly time frame, on the weekly time frame, although all higher time frames look positive, accordingly, at these marks, we will consider buying Bitcoin further for the long term. Since we have market figures, with Bitcoin marked up to $250,000, according to Fibonacci, everything is working out clearly. We have an understanding of this and have shown it to you in our previous reviews. Therefore, it is necessary to watch this level closely, yes, if there are any. In case of consolidation below $60,000, the price may slide down to approximately $47,000 to $48,000. This is the next level we have here, and then the next level is around $40,000. And the global level is, of course, approximately $30,000, the so-called test level. So we are watching the levels. I don't see a breakthrough of this level right now, and we are preparing for good buybacks in this range if the price allows. If the price reacts earlier, it's essential to watch here, as it's still a bit early to move upwards. They might execute another arc like that, creating a double top. Again, I see it on the weekly time frame. It has been worked out. It's unlikely they'll do it again. Most likely they'll continue to pour down from the current levels. But overall, they might still break out right here and roughly draw a double top, precisely from these double tops, some of which have already been worked out. And then the price might go down, so I am considering a more positive scenario. ultimately through a move down and then up, rather than like this. Yes. That is, if it goes up by itself, I will not buy from the current levels. So, these are my thoughts on Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum. But before I proceed to Ethereum, I want to share a very important thought that has been with me for a long time, and I clearly notice it. And I see that some people who have been in the cryptocurrency market for a long time are starting to seriously realize that the market has changed and Bitcoin is no longer the kind of asset, like an old grandpa, unable to provide growth movement. And in this case, Bitcoin has shown itself completely differently now. I know many people, and I myself in principle, have had doubts. Sometimes thoughts like these arise, that Bitcoin, well, it won't give, in percentage terms for example, as much as an asset, like Solana or Sui or ADA, or some other asset, or TON. Most likely not in percentage terms, meaning they're 10 to 20 times, but 10 to 20 times. I still see potential in Bitcoin, but the point is that we are now seeing altcoins starting to fall very seriously. And here, people, investors, begin to react quite differently, seeing in Bitcoin the essence of a protective asset. That is, Bitcoin is a protective asset, currently the most stable, strongly positioned in the market. Bitcoin, compared to Ethereum, has given base about a 600% growth over approximately 2 years. So that is 6 times. Ethereum did not reach such figures. Ethereum only grew to 4 times from the very lowest point. That is, when has this happened before? Firstly, they have completely different technologies, different capitalizations. Ethereum is much easier to move. A huge number of projects are being built on its base, but for some reason it hasn't grown. We will continue to analyze why. But Bitcoin stands very, very strong. Therefore, Bitcoin is number one. What should be in your cryptocurrency portfolio? At least a minimum of 50%. A percentage of 50%. Here, I am. If we deviate from these numbers, you will effectively lack protection in such a manner on the crypto market. It simply won't exist. Therefore, the protective asset in the cryptocurrency market is Bitcoin, and it has proven itself, not just as a protective asset, but as an asset that has also shown enormous growth compared to all other currencies. Therefore, Bitcoin, of course, is really on fire this year. But let's not forget about Ethereum. I believe that the overall picture for Ethereum is being prolonged, delayed, artificially. This is very common in the cryptocurrency market. Often, especially in the past, it happened when the storm of emotions on the market began, when everything soared by 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times in a short period of time. I see a similar picture, and I will continue to show the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. What specifically about USDT to Ethereum? Here, I see that it has moved past a strong level that couldn't be broken for a long time. This is approximately 1900, 1950 year, 1951 Ethereum here on the monthly candle. When the quarter closed, in March, I actually recorded a video review here and said that the price would 100% move further down. Well, possibly with such a retest, we saw the retest now. Due to the consolidation, the price should move further down to the level I have marked here. This is approximately $1,100, meaning I see a further decline in Ethereum, possibly some fluctuation there and through the top. But, of course, if by some miracle it goes above $2,000, the scenario might change. We need to be sure that this is a higher time frame, and the candle has consolidated. We will keep you informed. Therefore, Ethereum might now move to these levels, 1,000, 1,100. I don't see it going any lower. The prices for Ethereum are so attractive right now. Yes, they were like this back in 2018. So there is simply a huge opportunity right now. And when there's blood in the market and panic, no one wants to buy. Why? Why are you all waiting? Multipliers. That Bitcoin grew by 1,000%, by 500%, or some other asset. Everyone rushes to buy it quickly because it's going up. Bitcoin started to rise, or some other asset. Accordingly, everyone rushes into it as soon as it starts turning red. The streak of life is here. Accordingly, everyone is like, what to do? Sell everything. The market is doomed. Well, they said the market was doomed even when Bitcoin fell from $6,000, when mining was not profitable down to $3. And analysts said it would cost $1,000, and it's all a scam, a pyramid scheme. And after that, it went up to $70,000, you see? That's why I believe that it's a great opportunity now to buy Ethereum even at current prices without waiting for it to drop to $1,000 or $1,100. Because the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is already reaching its peaks. The monthly time frame on the RSI is just maximally oversold. Well, this has never happened in the entire history of Ethereum. That is, maximum oversold is a signal to buy. The weekly time frame on Ethereum shows maximum oversold relative to Bitcoin. This is another buy signal. If we track here that when the RSI at least reached the value of 30, then we can see here there was maximum oversold and the asset confidently moved approximately by a whole 62% relative to Bitcoin in the opposite direction. That is a much stronger growth. The growth was much stronger, and Ethereum can do this, and it will do it again when the time comes. I believe this is a huge manipulation. Right now, what's happening with Ethereum is because a huge number of people were driven into Ethereum by various news backgrounds. And among such Ethereum followers, I would call them Ethereum fans, they just have. And this year, Ethereum should break all records. I am changing my cryptocurrency portfolio from Bitcoin to Ethereum. Unfortunately, many had an unsuccessful experience with Ethereum because they sold Bitcoin. But the essence remains that right now, at this time, everyone wants to sell off Ethereum. They were ready to buy it at 4,000, at 3,000. But now, when it's 1,570 USDT for one Ethereum, those who bought it want to sell or are afraid to buy. That's how the market works. It's an absolutely normal, sensible story in the market. When there's blood, red everywhere, buy. I understand it's scary, but now is a great opportunity. But always remember risk management. Next, we move on to BNB. BNB is doing great, holding very, very strong. Even though Ethereum has dropped, even Bitcoin has dropped, Binance Coin hasn't. Here we see a clear, strong level around 555.80 USDT for one BNB. It's being actively bought up, and its targets are, according to our marks, according to Fibonacci, up to approximately $2,200. I think that when the situation stabilizes a bit, or if there's another market decline, then we can see a very rapid and vigorous growth in Binance Coin. Now, Binance Coin against Bitcoin looks like it is currently stuck at its small bottom. Yes, in this trading range, here we have a good level. And for now, it hasn't gone beyond it. I don't see anything particularly positive or negative. It seems more like a neutral movement. Something like this within these ranges, which I'm pointing to with the cursor, and then there should be a reversal. That is, I think the reversal won't be very quick. Maybe not within a week or in a couple of days. The decline might approximately continue there. I think about a month, and we might see a good reversal in approximately 1 to 3 months, at the minimum. So, these are basically my thoughts on today's market. What I see, how we proceed, how we act. If you found this review helpful, please give it a like, a thumbs up. And I have an important announcement for you. This Friday, we will hold a live broadcast where we will discuss the topic of Trump, his policies, the current market situation, and how to act. What will his statements on tariffs lead to? And most importantly, where the money is going right now. We will conduct a live broadcast. Everything will be written in our Telegram channel. Subscribe. There will be links in the description, and the link will also be available in the Telegram channel. Full timing. In our Telegram, thank you for your attention and see you. Goodbye.